Yo, what's up, guys? It's the FPL Pundit here. You're welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, how did game week 9 go? I know that Salah was able to save a lot of us as the game week was actually going bad. And for me, it was just the opposite for me. I made a lot of stupid mistakes, and my team is currently in shambles. So, I'm going to be doing a game week review for game week 9. So if you're new to my channel, kindly hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notification icon so that anytime I post a new video, you are going to be aware. So without further ado, guys, let's jump straight into the content. Yo, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So game week 9 is over now, and I just want to quickly do a review of how game week 9 was for me and the mistakes I made, and what I'm going to be doing moving forward. Okay, so but before that, let's quickly look at the key things from game week 9, how all managers performed, and the decisions many managers made. So we see that the highest point scored 165 points, the average point was 64, and the transfers made was about 11 million transfers made in game week 9. So the most transferred player was Vardy as expected, and the wildcard use came from about 167,000 managers. Now the most captain was Salah, definitely what I expected, but I didn't expect Salah was going to turn out this great performance like that. And to be honest, we're going to get straight into it. Okay, so now this is what managers are currently doing ahead of game week 10. The most transferred in player is Mount, followed by Chilwell, then Foden, Vardy still being transferred in, and Smith Rowe. Then the most transferred out player currently is Lukaku, yes, because he's currently injured and we still don't know his return date. Alonso is the second most transferred out player after not playing for the third game week in a row. Now the third most transferred out player after Alonso is second, so the third is Pogba. Pogba is the third most transferred out player after the red card he got against Liverpool, and Ronaldo too keeps being on the top transfers out players, followed by Fernandes this time around. I think a lot of managers had hoped that probably Ronaldo was going to be able to get back in form against Manchester United, as I have hoped against Liverpool, as I have hoped as well. Probably that's why some managers still kept him and Fernandes, but now we see that that's never going to happen anytime soon, except probably if Oli gets sacked or so. So moving on, we see the kings of game week 9, Martinez, Aston Villa's goalkeeper, Reece James, the defender, Cresswell, Chilwell as well, Mount, Salah, Foden, Cornet, Keita, Joshua King, and Emmanuel Dennis. Now, if you look at this list, I've talked about some of these players. I've been talking about them for quite some time now. I've talked about James, I've talked about King and Dennis. If you look at my previous videos where I talked about the top transfers for the forwards and the watch list for forwards as well, I talked about King and Dennis together. And now you see, if you've taken my advice at that point in time and held them up to this moment, you would be reaping the fruits of your labor. Okay, so that's that for what managers have been doing so far and what they did in game week 9. So now let's move on to my team and let's see how I performed in game week 9. So 58 points is very very bad for me, and somehow after the whole game week finished, I started thinking about the decisions I made, and I was wondering, how did I do this? So before we get to that, we said I got 58 points total, and that's way below the average points. Look at it, I'm like 8 points, or how many points short of the points here. The average point is 64 and I'm getting below 64, scoring 58 rather. The highest point is 165. My game week rank is 5 million, and I think this is one of my, if not the worst game week I had so far. I even had to take transfer it points it -4 for signing Kane, who at the end of the day still didn't even give me anything for my points. Now I'm beginning to regret that decision about having to sign Kane for that game week. But we move on. We see that this is a team that made up my 58 points. Raya in the goal post. Nothing much from Raya and Gaeta. Both teams conceded. So that's just what happened with Raya. Pino got 1 point. He conceded 2 goals against Leicester City. I was even hoping Brentford was going to be able to keep clean sheet against Leicester City, but that did not happen. So Livramento, I would say, was my best buy for the game week. I brought in Livermento and taking out Matip, and Livermento gave me 9 points. And funny enough, it was actually a good idea bringing in Livermento, because at the end of the day, Matip didn't start that game against Manchester United. So I didn't bring in Livermento, that means my defense would have been in total shambles, because none of my defender would have gotten any points. So I got Livermento 4.3 million. I'm glad I got him. Aspilicueta was one of the shocker for the game week. Aspilicueta did not play in that match, and I was wondering what Tuchel was thinking, but obviously it was resting Aspilicueta. So the best performer in my team, as expected, or in most people's any manager's team currently, if you have Salah, is Salah, scoring about 24 points. I think Mount scored the same number of points as well. 24 points goes to Mount, and Mount is actually the king of the game week for game week 9. So Salah was awesome. There's nothing much to say about Salah. We know what he did, because many of us would have watched the match. He got a hat-trick, got 1 assist as well, 1 clean sheet bonus, and 3 points bonus points. So now that's that about Salah. Son got 2 points, no goal, nothing. West Ham was able to take them down 1-0, and the goal came from this guy. What's his name again? Antonio. So Townsend was my captain. Yeah, this is that decision I said I made, and I was wondering, how did I come up with captaining Townsend? So Townsend blanked. He was my captain. So I think for like 4 game weeks now, I've chosen the wrong captains. It has always been on Lukaku, and now that I'm finally taking it away from Lukaku, I wasn't even giving it to Salah. I don't know what I was thinking. So Gallagher 2 points. I'm going to try and make sure I take this guy out of my team as soon as possible. Since I bought him, I haven't gotten anything from him. So Kane is the next player. I had to take transfer hits. That's -4 points here to sign Harry Kane. So Harry Kane 2 blanked. Jimenez, I think, gave me 1 assist. I guess that's what happened. Yeah, he assisted in the match, and Antonio was able to get a goal. So Antonio is going to be staying in my team for quite some time, for longer periods. And even my friends before the game against West Ham were having a discussion, and one of them was saying if Antonio doesn't actually score in this game week, he's going to take him off his team. I was wondering, like, why would you want to take off Antonio? There are few strikers out there right now. Ronaldo is not in form. Lukaku is out. Kane is just coming up. So who do you want to sign and stuff like that? I told him that Antonio, irrespective of what he does, is a player you want to keep for the long term, because if you look at it again, it's quite cheap. Yeah, Antonio is a cheap player. Oh, he's currently 8.1 million. So that's close to the price of Firmino. So that's that about Antonio. My bench, you see, Alonso was actually in the starting lineup, so he was replaced with Pinnock, because I put Pinnock on the bench. And I swear this is just basically it for the defense. So now, what exactly did I do wrong, and what am I going to be doing going forward? So the major wrong decision I made were 2 actually. So the first thing was the timing of my transfer. I did my transfer on Tuesday. That's before Chelsea's game on Wednesday. So normally the best thing would have been for you to wait for those games to go, let the games go past, then you see you make your transfer based on what are the aftermath of that. Because if you look at it, I made the transfers on Tuesday, and looking at it Wednesday, Thursday, I found out that Lukaku is injured, and that was and I've already used my 2 free transfers at that point in time. Also, I was trying to beat, I don't want the price to just keep dropping, but to an extent that doesn't really matter in FPL, because you always still get a player that will fit into your squad and will still perform. So now that was what prompted me into taking a transfer hit to take out Lukaku and bring in Kane. So now the second nonsense thing I did was Townsend. I made Townsend my captain, and I'll say that was the wrongest decision I've ever made in Fantasy Premier League so far this season. Now, it was my captain. He didn't play anything, even despite the fact that I was playing at home. Wow, Salah has been in form. This thing is momentum. Salah has been in form, and I'll say the last time I captained Salah was probably in the first 3 game weeks, I guess. Since that time, it has just been Lukaku. The fixtures ahead and stuff. And to be honest, if I still had Lukaku in my team, if he didn't get injured, Lukaku would have been my captain against Norwich. Because come to think of it, Chelsea was able to beat Norwich 7-0. I was expecting that a lot of goals to come from Chelsea, and if Lukaku was in that squad, Chelsea would have been Lukaku would have actually probably gotten an hat-trick in that game. But So that's what's going to happen now. I think this coming week we're going to be having the EFL Cup. So I won't make that mistake of having of impulse buying or selling a player. So I'll just hold on for the games to go past and I'll make my transfer after that point in time. So we already talked about the most transferred in player ahead of game week 10. We see that currently is missing Mount, followed by Chilwell. So I'll just hold on and see what goes on. And it's even possible that Alonso plays in this coming game week, but currently Chilwell is in form and the chances are slim for Alonso. If Alonso plays plays in the Carabao Cup, sorry, the EFL Cup, we're used to the old name. If Alonso plays in the EFL Cup, most likely he's not going to play in the weekend. But if Chilwell starts in the EFL Cup, then it's possible Alonso plays during the weekend. So I'll just wait until the Chelsea's game or after the whole game week that concerns my players and make my transfer based on the aftermath. It's evident that it's a very poor game week for me. Looking at it, all the leagues I belong to, I went down there. Now currently I'm in top 2.1 million overall rank and my total points is 522. Some people are close to like 600 if I'm not mistaken, but if not even more than 600 by now. So I really went down. I was close to like 1.1 million. I was around the 1 million range as of last week, and currently I just went down 1 million place plus by now. So moving on from game week 10 upwards, I'll just try to reflect on the past mistakes I've made in Fantasy Premier League and prepare ahead of November and December and make sure I'm making the right decisions and I'm making the decisions promptly and not based on impulse. So that will be all for the game week review, guys. I'm going to be doing a watch list video for players. Not the watch list, a wildcard selection video in the next video. So stick to my channel, hit the subscribe button if you're new. Kindly share my video with in your FPL groups. It can help a lot of managers to get better in the Fantasy Premier League, whatever it is. Okay, so that'll be all for today. Thanks for watching my video and I'll catch you right in the next one, guys. Peace.